The Houston Astros win in dramatic fashion. Jeremy Peña with a walk-off win. When the Astros looked like they were in control, the Angels came crawling back. But you know what? We had more answers than not. We're going to talk about this exciting win and how we're one step closer to the second place Texas Rangers. Let's get going. Kick it, Yiner.
Yainer Diaz, this is Locked On Astros.
Hello and welcome to Locked On Astros, your daily Astros podcast. Here are your hosts, Eric the Man Huysman and Brett H-Town Wheelhouse Chancey.
We are Locked On Houston Astros, and we hope that you join us for a daily Locked On Astros podcast. My name is Eric Huysman. Find me on X at Eric Talkstros. Find the show at Locked On Astros, your team every day. Thank you for making us your first listen on Apple, Odyssey, Spotify. Wherever you listen to your podcasts, go and check us out and go and subscribe to us on YouTube. Give us a big fat thumbs up while you're at it. This episode is brought to you by eBay Motors. From brakes to exhaust kits and beyond, eBay Motors has over 122 million parts to keep your ride or die alive. With all the parts you need at the prices you want, it's easy to bring home the big win. Just keep your ride or die alive at ebaymotors.com. Eligible items only. Exclusions apply. eBay guaranteed fit only available to U.S. customers. So, Brett, when you're celebrating Jeremy Peña getting his third walk-off hit, where can he find you at?
Thank you for my H-Town Wheelhouse on X, Instagram, and TikTok. They can find me at Stros411 on X and Facebook, and they can find me at Back to the Bullpen on X and on Instagram. You know, I'm always positive, always Stros, and I'm positive that I absolutely love wins like this. I mean, a win is a win, right, in Major League Baseball, and especially this season that the Astros are having. But when you get kicked in the teeth the night before, and we broke down the Framber Valdez thing, we're not going to go back into that anymore tonight because we broke it down on a separate episode. You have to go watch that. You needed a win like this. And when Jon Singleton tied up the game and then they lost the lead, it was like, this is, if you lose this game and the Angels come in here and win a series when you've been hot, that just, that sends the inconsistency vibes back into the mix. Wondering if just the mere mention of Jose Abreu coming back has shaken the foundation of the team, because ever since he's left, they've actually been doing really, really well. So you love seeing this. Jeremy Peña, Eric, for all the great things that Myers has been doing, for all the stepping up that Singleton's been doing, and Kyle Tucker, we'll talk about him. Jeremy Peña, Eric, is having one hell of a year. All-star shortstop, making throws that I can't. I'm amazed by the throws he's making, and just getting on base, hitting more disciplined. Absolutely love what I'm seeing.
Well, I know that Jeremy Peña had the big walk-off hit here, and the Astros went ahead and put a tweet out there, and it looks so much like me. It's amazing. So go and check out that. You kind of get a good impression of me. So we don't know who's going to be the hero in this game. You don't know who's going to be the villain in this game. So in today's game, it was kind of Cristian Javier. But also you had several heroes. You had Alvarez and Tucker go back-to-back early in the game. And then you also had Jon Singleton with a big home run. And then you had a whole bunch of players with some other hits. But it just seemed like every time they would get the lead or tie the game at least, then they would give up another home run. And you have people like Pilar, who is not supposed to be hitting home runs. And it's just frustrating. Brian Abreu, I'm looking at the StatCast right here, and he's looking at all the top pitch speed. He's got the top 5. And for all his ability this year, he has given up a lot of home runs. Yes, that would have been a home run only at Minute Maid Park because it was just a fly ball that went out there. But still, that gave them the lead at the time. Then Tucker's second home run in the game, that went ahead and gave them tied the game. And by the way, Kyle Tucker is with his 2 home runs today. Gunner Henderson hit a home run today, but he now leads American League with 17 home runs, and Gunner Henderson has 16. So I have some more Kyle Tucker stats, but go and talk some more about Jeremy Peña.
Yeah, Jeremy Peña had his 20th multi-hit game of the year. He leads the American League this year. He had his third career walk-off hit. Like you mentioned, you had Kyle Tucker with the 2 home run game, his second 2 home run game in the last week of the year. Yordan Alvarez with this home run back-to-back, him and Kyle Tucker, Jon Singleton. But Jeremy Peña at the plate, Eric. I mean, this guy is up there. He's top he's top 5 in hits. He is up there in batting average, hitting .328. Jeremy Peña has the highest average on this team. And I know we're beyond average. And I know people are going to be like, I can't believe you're talking about batting average. But for Jeremy Peña to be doing this at the clip he's doing it, 2 for 5 today, an RBI, a double, a run. I mean, look, only 1 strikeout. And last year, what was he doing? He was striking out a ton. And you just love what you see going on. He has gotten a hit from May 15th until now. He's on a 7-game hitting streak. 7-game hitting streak right now. He is just playing so well. And he's playing at an all-star level, Eric. If he doesn't get votes, if the Houston fan base and other people around the league don't recognize him as an all-star, then they're obviously not watching the same team I'm watching. And that's the thing. You have a team this year going into Arlington that could have a ton of all-stars on it. And the way they started playing, I don't know that was a projection that a lot of people had.
Yeah, no. And if you're just looking at the way they started their season, it didn't look good. But we kept on saying the players were there. The talent was there. You just had to be patient. For some reason, whatever the reason, they weren't playing good baseball. Alex Bregman, he had some deep drives today, including advancing the runners late in the game. But at the same time, we're not seeing the same consistency we've seen recently. But Jeremy Peña, as much as like we heard in spring training that he was working on his swing, even in spring training, he was in the backfields when the Astros were playing. He was trying to fix things, and he's done it. After a bad season, he has recovered, and I think that this could do wonders for the Houston Astros. And I think that having him playing very good at shortstop is going to do wonders. But Kyle Tucker, what Kyle Tucker is doing is like historic for the Houston Astros. I mean, he has 17 home runs in 49 games. And this is actually something that's only been done twice in the franchise history. Morgan Ensberg did it in 2006 with the Astros, believe it or not. And George Springer did it in 2019.
Wow.
And this is also, by the way, Ensberg had 6 straight games with home runs that season, if you remember correctly. And also Kyle Tucker has 4 multi-home run games this year in his first 49 games. This is a franchise record as well.
Like I said, getting it done. Kyle Tucker, look, can we just sign this man? Can we please put to rest the speculation of whether Kyle Tucker is going to remain a Houston Astro for the rest of his career?
Let Bregman walk at this point. We don't care.
I'm not even mentioning Bregman in this conversation. This is all about us and Tucker, because if nobody's got us, Tucker's got us, right? And forget anybody else. Kyle Tucker, he is the man. Sir, you deserve a bronze statue next to Jose Altuve when you're done with your career. You deserve to be a Houston Astro for life. If we're going to make Altuve an Astro for life, the future MVP of the American League in 2024, Kyle Tucker deserves to get paid. Can we stop dilly-dallying around? Can we stop pussyfooting around the freaking we're talking to him and we've had discussions and no, just freaking get it done, Crane. Get it done. What will make me forget about Abreu and this horrible contract? Kyle Tucker signing here. Kyle Tucker getting a big deal right smack in the middle of his hot home run streak. I mean, why the heck not? You know what you do over All-Star break? You go to Arlington and you set up a special signing and you have Kyle Tucker sign a deal in Arlington at Texas Live. Do it on their territory. That's what I want to do.
Hey, you know that meme where you have the guy at the little table with the like paper, and it has a white screen. It says like you're supposed to fill it in or like tell me something. I think somebody should be in front of the park just saying, "Give me all the reasons you should sign Kyle Tucker." And so we'll go ahead and continue this conversation. Jon Singleton, he's awesome, and this game had a lot of positives, and that's what you can hope for the Houston Astros.
That's right. This episode is brought to you by PrizePicks. Download the app today and use the code Locked On MLB for a first deposit match of up to $100. Can you imagine if you would have chosen the over on Kyle Tucker hitting 1.5 home runs or even one home run? You would have won some money. You can turn $10 into $100. You can also play alongside guys like Meek Mill and Sugar Shane O'Malley, and there are community plays. Also, there's this cool feature that if your player goes into the game like a basketball player and he comes out in the second half, it won't count against you. Again, turn $10 into $100. PrizePicks with the best daily fantasy, from strikeouts to home runs to goals to saves, whatever it is. Quick withdrawals, easy gameplay, and an enormous selection of players and stats are what makes PrizePicks the number one fantasy app. PrizePicks also offers weekly promotions, special offers on the biggest moments in sports. PrizePicks now offers Apple Pay for quick and easy deposits into your account this basketball season. Download the app today and use the code LOCKEDONMLB for your first deposit match of up to $100. Pick more, pick less. It's that easy.
Guys, thank you for making Locked On Astros podcast your first listen every day, whether it's on YouTube. Go and subscribe to us. Go and make us your first listen. Apple, Odyssey, Spotify, wherever you listen to your podcast, go and check us out. Go and check out Mike O'Connor on a Locked On Astros podcast, and you can watch all the Locked On shows, including Locked On Sports Today, on your Amazon Fire TV stick. Just go and search the free TV channels app. So, Brett, I know we've been talking a lot about Kyle Tucker, deservedly so. He is running neck to neck for the home run lead. He is either first, second, or third in terms of all the hitting categories. And so I think there's a chance that if he continues this, he's going to be MVP. But I don't think you know this, Brett. He has 10 home runs in 19 games in May. That's how hot he has been. This guy is just on fire right now. And so I think that, and this is also, this was Alvarez's second home run in 20 games since the Mexico series. So wow. It's been a while since he's had been consistent with the home run. So hopefully he gets going as well.
Well, Alvarez 2 for 4 today. He's been getting hits, hard hit balls. He's been hitting a lot of singles, hitting a lot of doubles, line drives. He's been making contact. His swing will come around. Altuve's down to 296. He was 0 for 5 today with 2 strikeouts. He'll come around. I'm not worried about him because look, what's weird is they walked Alvarez to get to Bregman. Bregman moves the runner over, and then that's what set up Peña for the walk-off win. Bregman, had he hit that ball probably about 15, 20 feet to, I guess, when you're looking at the field to the left, or, pulled it any more, it would have been gone. He hit to the deepest part of the field, but that set up the go-ahead and walk-off win for the Houston Astros. I think Yordan Alvarez is fine. I don't think I really need to worry about him. The person I'm worried about, after we talk about Singleton, is Cristian Javier. And is he 100%? But does Jon Singleton not have the best bat flip in baseball? Let's give him his flowers, not just for hitting the home run, but the way he pimps the home run. I have a friend that every time he hits a home run sends me a message that says "Pimp Singleton," because the way he just throws his bat, it's like all one fell swoop, and it almost looks choreographed, and he just does it. It's just naturally, and he didn't just hit a home run. He hit a bomb into center field, Eric, because he always pulls to right field. He always pulls. Sometimes he hits it so high you wonder if it's going to go out. This one just kept screaming and going and going and going. It was great to see.
Yes, Singleton has been playing a very good baseball. It's 109.2 miles per hour off the bat, 432 feet, dead center field. And this is something that only Alvarez has kind of hit recently. You don't hit to the batter's eye that much. You have to have a lot of power and be able to do it. And Singleton, he has that power and he has the swing and miss ability, but he also, when he makes contact, he can make contact. And I know a lot of people are like, well, why are you going to go ahead and bring up Jose Abreu when you have this guy playing? Well, what Espada has said is that they're going to like introduce him very slowly. And by the way, let's go ahead and give Abreu a prize. He was 3 for 4 in the Gulf Coast League, and basically you should be going 4 for 4 against these are basically below single A players. And
so Eric, I thought the same thing, and I actually sent Mike Stanton a text today because I was asking about that very thing because I've thought that very much. And what he said was these guys actually throw really hard. A lot of times they just don't know where it's going.
Right.
So these are guys that have the talent. They just can't put the ball in the strike zone. So he goes, yes, it's not AAA. It's not Major League Baseball, but he said they're not chumps. So, I thought they were, like you said, they're in the Florida Complex League. They can't be that great, right? But from what Stanton said, those dudes can throw some gas. So, hey, look, 3 for 4. If he comes back, he better be a platoon. I'm sorry. In my world, you got to earn your spot back. You lost it. You completely lost it. Sit on the bench, sir, until we're ready to put you in. And if you say something out of line, we're not putting you in until the 9th inning if we need you. You gotta, I'm sorry, man. You just gotta earn it back. Just because you have the money and just because you have the experience doesn't mean you take the bat out of Singleton's hands right now.
Right. And so I know that Espada has said that his bat speed's up. It's increased like 5 miles per hour. And his swing is better. He looks a lot more relaxed. And there's a lot of positive things to say about Jose Abreu. So he's probably going to play a couple of games with the Space Cowboys, maybe on Friday and Saturday. He may come back Sunday. Who knows? But the Astros already activated Chas McCormick. We're probably going to talk about that a little bit more. What he had to say. Trade Cabbage was already optioned down. So the next question is, once you have Abreu come up, who's the next person to go down? I know a lot of people would say Greg Kessinger, but he is kind of the guy. That's the Astros backup infielder. Mauricio Dubon can do that, but they also like playing him in the outfield. So Joe Espada has a very tricky situation. Do you send down Greg Kessinger or Loperfido? Loperfido shows that has shown that he belongs, but Brett, he also needs to play.
He does need to play, but if I'm going to have a guy that is more of an option, I'm going Loperfido just because what Loperfido showed me at the plate. I have to keep Loperfido up here. I just know that opportunities are few and far between right now. But I think you keep Loperfido because he has had enough experience. Right. But it makes sense to send him back down to get him the everyday playing time. Look, Pedro Leon hit another home run today in Sugar Land, 110 miles an hour off the bat. His 9th home run. Nobody's caught Loperfido yet in minor leagues. Nobody's hit 13 home runs, but Pedro Leon is creeping up on him. So Pedro Leon's making a case for maybe some consideration late in the season to come up to be like a late season call up, give some guys a rest. But
hey, yeah. Brett, Garrett asked about where the Astros in terms of batting average with runners in scoring position. They are now 14th in baseball with a 260 batting average. They were 2 for 9 today. Mm-hmm. So they are. So what's the best in baseball? The Royals. Yes, the freaking Kansas City Royals are batting 305 with runners in scoring position. Well, they have a good record.
Oh no. Look, Bobby Witt Jr. hit another home run today. Look. This Royals team could take command of this AL Central pretty quickly. Right now, they're 31-19, Eric. This is not a bad team. Them and the Guardians have both won 5 in a row. shoot, the AL Central's hot right now. They are all winning baseball games outside of the Detroit Tigers. The Detroit Tigers are only 2 games under 500. They still have a better record than the Houston Astros. But you know what? We're only 2 games away from the Rangers. We are 5 games away from the Mariners. It would have been so great to have that win last night because we would have only been 4 games behind the Mariners, but we'll get there. And when we get to Seattle, Eric, it's going to be a freaking war on the Northwest coast, man. It's going to be fun.
Yeah, in a second, we'll go ahead and talk about Cristian Javier. Is there anything to be concerned about with his outing today? Ronel Blanco, we do know when he's going to be coming back. And Luis Garcia, he made a step in the right direction.
That's why this episode is brought to you by eBay Motors. Millions of parts for your MVP. Win every time with parts that fit your ride. Passion, drive, and patience. The formula for winning championships is also what keeps your ride or die alive. Almost sounds like the Astros 2024 season. eBay Motors has everything you need to maintain your vehicle and level it up to peak performance. Superchargers, roof racks, exhaust kits, LED headlights, and more. Whether you're into speed, power, or style, eBay Motors has you covered. With over 122 parts for your number one ride or die, you'll always find exactly what you're looking for. And with eBay Motors Guaranteed Fit, your part is guaranteed to fit your ride every time or your money back. Because with eBay Motors, you're burning rubber, not cash. With all the parts you need, the prices you want, it's easy to make your car the MVP and bring home huge wins. Keep your ride or die alive at ebaymotors.com. Eligible items only. Exclusions apply. eBay Guaranteed Fit, only available to U.S. customers.
Guys, thank you for making Locked On Astros podcast your first listen every day. Go ahead and subscribe to us on YouTube and go and make us your first listen on Apple, Odyssey, Spotify, wherever you check out your podcasts. Become an everydayer and go and check us out. If you're in a car and you can't listen to the game, why don't you check out SiriusXM? It's a great way to actually listen to the game when you're away. And all you have to do is download the app and search Astros. So, Brett, I know that we're coming off a game where Framber Valdez had a ugly 5th inning where he basically, we talked about it in the last podcast, but he basically just made his own decisions and didn't go with what Yainer Diaz was calling. But Jose Espada did kind of address it. He said, well, the pitching with the pitchers, it's always their choice. We make the suggestions. If they don't follow it, that's up to them. But we suggest the best option. We communicate it to the catchers, and that's how we typically do it. So when he took it in his own hands, he didn't listen. So that's fine. But if you're talking about Cristian Javier today, there was a little bit of a velocity dip. The last start, he was averaging 91.9 miles per hour in a fastball. Today, he was averaging about 90.4. He topped out at 91.8. But in the last inning, he was hitting about 88.2 to 91.1. So the velocity started getting worse. He threw 41 pitches in the final 2 innings, 15 of them fastballs. And so basically, I have another stat that a lot of runners got on. He, where is it? He had 7 of the 15 Angels he faced reached base. So he wasn't fooling anybody. So Cristian Javier, we think of him as a high velocity guy, but it's actually not the velocity that gets him. You talked about it. It's the deception. It's the movement on his ball. So the velocity should not be that big a difference. He's pitched with diminished velocity before, but in this game, it just wasn't really working. The Angels weren't getting fooled, and this Angels team looks like a team that has some power. And I don't know if it's the Astros pitching that has kind of opened that door for them, or is it the Angels? Who knows?
Well, Eric, I think it's a little bit of both. I think even I kind of underestimated this Angels team. Look, why? Because they don't have Trout, they don't have Ohtani, obviously, anymore. But they do have a young team. They have a young guy, O'Hop, who is an up-and-coming catcher. Willie Calhoun, a former top draft pick from the Rangers system. You got Zach Neto, who really is kind of, I believe is a homegrown prospect there within the Angels organization. And so they've got some guys in there. Kevin Pillar's having a career year. And in Anaheim. So they have guys that are going to attack when they get in the box. My concern about Javier is if his velocity is going to stay down, now he has to reformulate what he does, because he didn't used to have to worry about location because the deception was there, the invisible. Not only the ball coming out of his hand, but where he delivered it, the height he delivered it at, and when it came to the batter. It's literally, some guys, they say, you can see the ball coming out of their hand, I can see the spin, and I'm going to hit it. Other pitchers, hitters will tell you, I absolutely have no idea where the ball's going. I can, and it doesn't have to be like, you know how they'll have the day games where it's like light and like half the pitching area and you know, shadow in the other, and like, oh, you know, batters are losing the ball. There's some guys where they just throw it and some hitters just can't see it. And other guys, it looks like a beach ball every time. So if he's lost the invisible effect, then what he's going to have to do, and I don't know how long this is going to take, he's going to have to learn to pick his way around the zone. And
Right.
he may have to go a Greg Maddux style, because Greg Maddux said it was never about velocity. It was about, it was about, you know, getting strikes. So there's a difference between pitching and throwing, right?
Different pitchers, though, different styles.
No,
I get
no,
what you're saying.
no,
Yes.
right. But what I'm saying is, if it continues to be down, if he's not hurt, if it's just something that he's trending in that direction, he's got to learn how to put that ball in the zone and to get more than 7 swings and misses. 7 swings and misses isn't terrible, but I want 14. I want 20 swings and misses.
Yeah.
Because any major league team's gonna ding you on that. And Cristian Javier, when he's on, he's on.
Yeah, I do need to correct myself. I was looking at the raw notes. He actually allowed 11 of the 21 batters he faced to reach base. So,
Okay.
Yeah. So I was looking at what he did before the 4th inning. So, all we could do is wait to hear what they say after the game. I've been looking. That's why I kind of waited for Javier until the 3rd segment to see if anything came out, and nothing's come out about the velocity dip or anything, if there's anything wrong with him. So I guess we'll have to talk about that in tomorrow's show. But there has been some other good news about other pitchers. You have the fact that, we already talked about Chas McCormick. He made his comeback, and he's already saying, well, I sucked to start the season, and I was a starter and I wasn't playing good. And I know that I went on the IL, that the team started playing good. So if I want to play, I have to play good, basically. And so he thinks that it's probably was good for him going to IL. He had to work on some things. He thinks his swing is kind of where he wants it versus where it was before the IL stint. And so he just wants to play good enough to help the team win. He says it doesn't matter what role it's in. We have a lot of good outfielders playing well. I'm just happy to be back. So what Joe Espada does to try to rotate all these outfielders is going to be very interesting.
You know, and one of the things that I don't want to go unmentioned is the multiple innings that Josh Hader threw tonight. I mean, this guy comes in once again this year. It's his 4th multi-inning outing of 2024. He was much aligned and much ridiculed at the beginning of the year. He wasn't performing well, and he continues to deal. I mean, last time we looked in his last 10 starts, last 10 outings, he was 2-1, had like 8 strikeouts or something like that. Now he's got more strikeouts. The guy threw 2 innings, 4 strikeouts. Presley, 1 inning. He did give up the 1 hit, and I thought it was going to go off the rails. I was afraid Presley was going to lose it. I was afraid Abreu was going to lose it, but Abreu held his own. 2 strikeouts. And then Taylor Scott, got to give him his flowers too. 2 innings, 1 strikeout, only 1 walk, and only 1 hit. Taylor Scott, he's kind of the Ryan Stanek of 2024. Remember how Stanek came in 2022 and he just always seemed to lock it down? Taylor Scott's kind of taken on that role. So it's good you have multiple guys that take that position. They don't all have to be perfect in the same night. So good job, Josh Hader. Keep doing it. I love it, man. Good, solid win tonight for the Astros.
And there's a good article. I'm not going to talk about it, but we've already kind of addressed it. The reason why he didn't want to pitch multiple innings was he wanted to protect his arm so he can make the money. Now that he's made the money, he's okay to go out there
I love it.
Yeah, 4 of his 20 appearances as Astro has been multiple innings, and this one was a big one. So speaking of big ones, Jose Urquidy will make a rehab start Friday with the AAA Sugarland. He's expected to throw between 70 and 75 pitches. Once he does that, he's expected to return to the rotation. Ronel Blanco will return to pitch Sunday in Oakland, meaning that's going to give Framber Valdez the extra day of rest. And so I think this was done on purpose to kind of not send a message, but just kind of give him an extra day to think. And Luis Garcia was throwing a side session today on the stadium mound at Minute Maid Park. No hitters, but it was another step in the right direction that he's actually throwing off a mound. So there's a lot of great things happening with the Astros, and the fact that they are 22 and 27 at this point, considering how they're started, that's great. Once again, it seems like they get 10 hits every night. The hitting is not the issue. It's getting the big clutch hits, so to speak. And once they start doing that consistently, like what Jeremy Peña did, this team will go on a winning streak, not a consecutive winning streak, but just winning.
So, hey, real quick, I can get this in, before the end. Brian McTaggart just has a quote from Espada on Javier. He says, "I'm not concerned health-wise. I just don't think he's quite there yet. I think we're over the health issue. It's more getting his mechanics, getting in the groove of things. He just wasn't as sharp, wasn't able to finish hitters." So there you go. They address the health. They don't think it's a health concern. So right before we end, thank you, Brian McTaggart.
Yes, this is how we missed the quotes yesterday from Framber Valdez before I ended the podcast, because they wait till after the Locked On Astros podcast. But guys, don't wait to watch the Locked On Astros podcast. Go and watch us live. Go and make us your first listen every day, and go and subscribe to us on YouTube. My name is Eric Huysman. He is Brett Chancey, and we are the Locked On Astros podcast. We will see you tomorrow, and go Stros.
Where are my hearts at? They're gone.
Not in my house. Not in my house.
Not in my house. No.